I'd like to talk about the assignment that's due on July 20th. It's worth 5 points and to evaluate a library science journal. When you're a librarian, it's really important to stay current with research that's being done in librarianship. And another thing that I'm often asked as a reference librarian is, especially a graduate student will come to me and they will be asking for advice on which journal should they publish their research in. So I want to give you experience with both of these types of experiences, and so asking you to, there's a long list of librarianship peer-reviewed journals. I want you to pick one of those. We're going to have a list on the discussion board, so add your journal to the list so that people choose different ones. And then I want you to write me an email as if I have contacted you asking you what journal I should publish my research in science librarianship. And so recommend a journal to me. And when you're doing so, you need to investigate basically everything about the journal. Who are the editors? What is the author policy? Talk about what is the scope of the journal, meaning what sort of topics does it cover? Does it have an open access policy? The journal metrics, meaning the impact factor, the eigenfactor, any of those numbers that you can find, and really anything else that I as a researcher or a librarian would want to know about this journal. I do want to note that, as in all the other assignments for this class, that we do have a class plagiarism policy. You should have, of course, thought about this a great deal in the previous week. And so you should never cut and paste text off a website without using quotation marks and giving proper attribution. It's going to be, I'm sure, very tempting as you write this recommendation just to cut and paste large, sections of the journal website, but I really don't want you to do that. And really, as a librarian, you wouldn't want to do that when you're writing an email to a graduate student or a professor, because they can go to that website and read it as well as you can. You might refer them to say, look at this website, but you're just not going to cut and paste text. That's really not a professional way to communicate. And so I'm asking your opinion. Why should I publish, and what do I need to know to publish in this journal? And so if you look at the rubric, you're going to receive 1 point for selecting the journal. Remember, it needs to be peer reviewed and putting it on the discussion board. And then there's 4 points. Be sure to give the journal title, give me a link to the website, talk about the scope, who is the audience, who's this journal designed for, who is on the editorial board. Maybe look into their qualifications. Talk about the open access policy. Does it have one? Does it cost money to publish an article open access? Submission guidelines. What do you have to do to submit? Is there a certain format of the article you need to have? Is there a citation style? Is there a Word or a LaTeX template that you need to use? Journal metrics. Look into those and talk about, how does this journal compare with other similar journals? And then you really think about this and analyze it. Is this journal somewhere that I should publish, that I would want to publish? Maybe it's not. Maybe this isn't a very good journal and that I would be better served publishing somewhere else. And so take these all into consideration and really write a thoughtful email. And be sure, if you have any questions about the assignment, please don't hesitate to either send me an email or you can post a question on one of the discussion boards. I think the student space would probably be a good spot for it. Great, and I look forward to reading your journal recommendations.